Good morning. So in this video we are going to discuss about the working mechanism of DNS and also DHCP server. So first of all, DNS is nothing but domain name server, and DHCP is nothing but dynamic host configuration protocol server. First, initially understand the purpose of these two servers, then we'll go for the simulation. First of all, DHCP. DHCP, as the name implies, it is dynamically allocating, that is dynamically configuring the end systems, right? That is the purpose of DHCP server, right? Initially, before, whenever the internet is getting evolved, right, 1980s. So initially, what the people do is they used to configure the systems, configure the systems like configuring the gateway router, configuring the IP address, right? So either it is private or else public IP address, or else configuring the gateway router, configuring the DNS server. All these are manually done, whereas and that time very lesser number of people connecting themselves, and communication will involved in communication, right? Very lesser number of systems involved in communication, so configurations can be done easily, and that was done manually, right? Whereas when more number of people started communicating and more number of people connecting themselves with the internet, so we need to have a specific we need to automate this process. That's why this DHCP protocol was introduced into the market. And the purpose of DHCP is it will take the responsibility of allocating the IP address and deallocating of IP address, right? So we have a block, whether it is public IP address block or else private IP address block. So even it may be communicating within the network or else outside network, whatever it is. So this DHCP, we need to give some instructions like what is the start address, what is the DNS server, what is the gateway router. All these informations we need to give to the DHCP server, and that will take responsibility of allocating and deallocating of IP address for the end systems, right? So that is the major purpose of DHCP server, right? It was introduced into the market by 1983, right? And move on to the DNS. DNS is a domain name server. So people, because when earlier stage, whenever the internet was evolved, so there at that point of time, very lesser number of websites exist, and very lesser number of people accessing internet, right? So at that point of time, people used to have a text file, right? So used to have a text file for mapping of website addresses, which is nothing but canonical name mapping with the respective IP address, right? Which means canonical name is nothing but the URL, right? Let's take www.google.com. So it's a canonical name, right? And we need to have, because people are capable of remembering the names rather than numbers, right? Why? Because we can't able to remember more than 10 numbers, right? So for example, if I want to remember the 50 IP addresses of different websites, can it be possible? People are not, whereas we can able to easily remember the names, right? google.com, rediff.com, gmail.com, any websites we can able to use, and we can able to remember that, right? People are capable of remembering names rather than numbers. So that's why they go for this mapping purpose, right? So whenever the internet was evolved, very lesser number of systems, very lesser number of websites exist, and initially they have a text file every day, night, every night, whoever that is connecting to internet, they will receive the updated copy of this text file, so that if any people wants to communicate with any people wants to communicate with any of the website in the world, so based on this text file, it will perform this mapping process, and when it gets the IP address, it will start communicating, right? So this is what that was done before the introduction of DNS. And whenever this DNS was introduced, every network, right, they have their own DNS server, right? And if you take the DNS server, let's take google.com's DNS server is 8.8.8.8, right? And similarly, every network will have their own DHCP server, their own DNS server. What initially it does is, whenever a website is visited by the browser, right, if it is of the first time visit, right, please remember it, if it is of the first time visit, so it will hit for because it needs to be converted into an IP address so that we can start communicating. So this work will be taken care by this DNS server. So whenever the website is first initially visited by the browser, so the request will be taken to DNS server, and the DNS server will respond with the IP address, right? So how this DNS server works, that is completely different part, right? That we will not going to cover up. So this DNS server takes canonical name as input, and it will reply with the respective IP address of the given website, right? And after that it will start communicating, right? So this is the major work of DNS server. So DHCP, automatic configuration of IP address, gateway router and the DNS server to the end systems, whereas DNS is nothing but conversion of canonical name into IP address. So this is the major work of these two servers. Let's go for a simulation and we'll check out how this protocol works. So I'm going to have 4 PCs. Okay, I'm going to have 4 PCs in my network, and I need to have a networking device called switch for connecting these devices, and I'm going to have a server. One is nothing but a DHCP server, another one is nothing but a DNS server, and I'm going to have a router that will act as a default gateway router of this entire network. Let's start connecting these devices. Okay, so we'll rename this servers. Dynamic name configuration protocol server, DHCP server, and this is domain name server. Gateway router, and we'll allocate the IP address for each of this. 192.168.0.1. let's copy this so that easy for us to define. 2 will be the for DHCP server, and 3 will be for DNS server. So this has to be like this, because this interface only have the IP address 192.168.0.1. Let's start configuring the things. DHCP server configuration. We need to statically assign the IP address and things for DHCP server. So this has to be 2, right? IP is 2 and default gateway is 1 and DNS server is 3, right? So this is nothing but the DNS server, so it has to be statically assigned. And for DHCP things has to be done. So IP address is 3, subnet mask automatically taken, 1 is nothing but the default gateway, and server DNS server is going to be the same, right? The same IP, because this even if you try to visit a website in this domain name server, the process, the DNS server is the same, right? So that is why. Okay, gateway router needs to be assigned. So in this gateway router, only gigabit Ethernet 0 is going to have this IP address 192.168.0.1. port status needs to be enabled so that the interface will be active at all time, right? Okay, now DHCP server needs to be configured. So you need to go to DHCP server and you need to click on the services. There you can find a DHCP process and click on this process, and you select the entry here, right? This entry, it has to be edited, right? So that's why you click on this entry, and default gateway is going to be 192.168.0.1 and DNS server is going to be 3, right, 1.0.3, and here it is nothing the start address, right. So as I already said, we have a block of IP address, either it may be public address or else private address, right. So you need to assign the start address, right, and that start address, here I have used 3 addresses in this block. So 1 is used, 2 is used, 3 is used, and I need to start at from 4. Subnet mask will be automatically taken. Rest of the things you no need to touch up, and here you need to save the entry, not add entry, right. So when you save this entries will be made changed, right, and everything will be fine. Now DHCP is ready to work, right. For now how need to check whether DHCP is properly working or not. So by clicking on the system N system, right. So this PC0 is so earlier we have statically assigned IP addresses for this PCN systems. Now I need to click on this DHCP entry. When I click, it will ask for request of IP address. There it will get the IP address and it will be automatically assigned. Look at IP address. We have given the start address as 192.168.0.4, and that is assigned for this PC, and default gateway and the DNS server, it is properly assigned. So DHCP request is successful here. So now DHCP is working. So let's go for doing of the same process for the rest of the systems, requesting IP. So 5 is allocated for this PC. It's completed for the rest of the systems. DHCP requesting IP. So successful. 6 is allocated. Requesting IP. 7 is allocated for this PC. Okay, now DHCP, this is what the process of DHCP server, right. So it will allocate the configuration things, right, IP, default gateway router, and the DNS server. All those things will be automatically assigned to the PC N systems, right. If one particular IP disconnects from the network, it will be automatically taken back by the DHCP server, right. So that is also very important in case of this DHCP server. Let's go for working mechanism of domain name server. So in case of your domain name server, before that we need to have 2 more servers for that, for identifying, for checking with the process of DNS. So I have 2 more servers exist in my network, in my own network. Let's define the connection for this. Okay, 2 servers connected. Let's assign the IP for this. I think it is so far 7. Okay, let's take the name of this website, www.abc.com and www.xyz.com, right. Okay, and we'll allocate the IP for this too. Okay, can be automatically taken from DHCP server. Okay, let's get the IP from DHCP. So far 7 allotted, and now 8 is allotted for this server, and so this 9 will be allotted, I think so. Yes, 9 will be allotted. So 192.168.0.8, and this is allotted with 9, right. So that it will be easy for us to remembering the things, right. So here I need to check on this process. So I need to click on this DNS server, and I need to enable the DNS entries, right. DNS, and you want to click on this DNS service on, right. And what needs to be done is www. You need to make an entry of mapping, right. So you need to make an entry of mapping of the canonical name with the IP address, right. So now the IP address of XYZ server is 192.168.0.9, and you make an add entry, right. And similarly www.abc.com, and the address is going to be 192.168. 0.8. Add another entry so that this mapping will be available, right? So when a request that comes for this abc.com website, so it will be replied with this IP address. So that is what this. And DNS cache is nothing but as I already said, when the browser is visiting that website for the first time, it will hit the DNS server and get back the IP address. And for further entries, for further inquiries of the same website, it will use the DNS cache, right? Because every time it will not disturb the DNS server. So for the first time, it makes an it hits the DNS server and get back the IP address, right? Later DNS cache will be used, right? So no need to touch up this DNS cache later. Okay, DNS entry is completed. Now you need to complete the process in case of N servers. So abc.com, you want to click on this services. HTTP service needs to be enabled, right? Always it is by default it is enabled. You need to click on this index.html file and remove this HTML code and add this code which is unique for each server, right? So welcome to ABC server, right? Okay, /h1 /body, and you need to overwrite this file. Yes, overwrite. We'll copy this so that it will be easy for us to copy in that server also. Click on this server, service, HTTP, enable, click on this edit file, remove these entries, copy this and replace it with the XYZ server, replace the file, overwrite the file. Okay, I think now it is everything ready to work. So let's go for simulation. So in your simulation window, you need to uncheck all the protocols and click on edit filters. For this, for analyzing this performance of this entire network, I need to have these protocols to be captured during my simulation: DNS, ICMP, and in the miscellaneous protocols HTTP and HTTPS. All those protocols are needed for this simulation. Okay, so now I am trying to so far we have completed the working process of DHCP. So now DHCP doesn't have any work because all the N systems are allocated with IP addresses, and this is 0.1, this is 0.2, this is 0.3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? That is automatically assigned by the DHCP server. Let's try to visit the website of XYZ server from this PC. So there is an option called browser here. So you need to click on this PC. And you will have the screen like this, and here there is a web browser exists. So under the web browser you need to enter the URL www.xyz.com. When I click on go, there will be a packet is ready from this PC to leave, right? So packet is ready to transmit, and you need to click on this play button. Now packet is ready to transmit. So packet reaches the switch. Initially, this is the first time I'm visiting this xyz.com website, and it hits the DNS server, and it will fetch back the IP address of the DNS of the XYZ server, and it will reach the packet will reach the switch, and it reaches the source. So now IP address of XYZ server is available with PC0, and the packet of HTTP is ready to transmit, and it is preparing the packet. HTTP packet is ready to transmit from this PC to XYZ server. Now HTTP packet arrives at switch, and it reaches the XYZ server, and XYZ server will respond with the web page of that xyz.com, and this packet, when it reaches the browser, so it will be the packet is successful and web page is now ready to view. Look at welcome to XYZ server, right? So this is what the working mechanism of DNS, right? So let's try to visit the another web page ABC server from this PC. Same procedure, I need to go to web browser, www.abc.com, right? So packet is ready to transmit. It is nothing but a DNS request packet, right? So when you click on this, you can see, look at DNS type, right? Type is a DNS. You can click on packet is ready to transmit. Now packet will reach the switch. Okay, from switch it reaches the DNS server for getting the IP address of abc.com. So packet will get the DNS reply yes with the IP address of abc.com, and it will be received by the requesting PC. So now it prepare an HTTP message. Look at HTTP, right? HTTP request message. Packet is ready to transmit. So it will reach the switch, and from switch it will reach this server, and from server it will get the web page of abc.com, and from switch it will be received by this requested source. And now you can see the browser. So welcome to ABC server. So this is how this DNS and the dynamic host configuration protocol server works, right? So it converts the given canonical name into IP address so that we can start communicating with that respective website, and dynamic host configuration protocol. So please remember, dynamic host configuration protocol and DNS server both will be available in every network, right? So this DNS server will be useful for converting your canonical name into IP address, and this will be used for configuring your end systems, right? So we'll discuss another protocol in the next video. Thank you.